Back with us again, which is nice that we have a guest who's been on many times because she knows to roll with the punches. We don't have to worry. She's back to introduce to us 3 new books, each with a unique message for children. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Thank you so much.
We're in a Halloween theme here.
Yes.
Things that go bump in the night.
That's right.
I bet that's going to play into this a little bit, right?
A little bit.
A little bit.
So, you know, and I love Halloween. Come August, I'm like, yay, look, there's the decorations. We're heading into October. Yes, I know people get really freaky about that.
What is wrong with that? August.
I love it. I love Halloween. I love it. So, you know, well, what were you scared when you were a kid?
Clowns.
Clowns, okay.
Clowns in the dark.
Okay,
and I still am afraid of, well, both.
Well, you know, I find a lot of times kids will, when I go to school visits, for example, kids, when I talk about writing and illustrating and everything, and I say, let's start writing something, or let's start drawing something, and they will say, well, what if I make a mistake? And a lot of kids are really afraid of making mistakes.
Sure.
And this book, Beautiful Oops, is a fabulous, fabulous example.
Barney Salzberg.
Barney Salzberg, he's fantastic. And I'm going to show you inside. It's all about how to make a mistake into something positive.
Okay,
so
for example.
Everything in this book is, so he says a scrap of paper, and here's the paper. It's hard to, I hope you can see it. And then you turn it, and he's made this into a dog.
Turned it into a dog,
right.
Look at that.
Or here's a stain, and here's the coffee, and it's really cool because it's very interactive, and has potential, and there's the frog, you see the shape.
Oh, very nice.
So it's really cool to show kids that, and teachers are always looking for ways to teach kids how to take the positive out of a mistake.
Well, you know, it's funny, and it's a good point, because we I think, put, as parents, such high regard on our children to be perfect, to be the best they can be, without kind of... exactly. Without kind of remembering that, you know, they're going to make, everyone makes mistakes, so yes, they do.
Yeah, that's right. And this is a really great way to show you how you can turn a mistake into something positive. And so, since mistakes are scary, I thought, great, I'm bringing that in for Halloween.
All right, let's talk about monsters, which does...
Right. Jeremy Draws a Monster by Peter McCarty, and he is one called the Cod Honors, which is the big award for art in picture books. And he is amazing. And, you know, kids are afraid of monsters a lot of times because monsters are really powerful.
Sure.
So Jeremy draws a monster, and what better way to take the power away from a monster but to be the creator. So he draws this monster, only then the monster, it's really cute, the monster starts taking over and saying, I want dessert with my dinner, and he has to draw him dessert and all this stuff, and then he decides, you know what, the heck with this, I'm going to take my power back, and I'm going to draw you a bus ticket out of town.
Oh, look at that.
So he gets him out. So it's nice, he gets his power back.
Is it difficult when you see books, you know, as somebody who checks out these books for kids all the time, when you see young books, because this is for obviously 5-year-olds?
5 to 8.
Okay. You're talking about a book that has to do with something that is scary. My daughter is almost 4. We watch Monsters, Inc. repetitively in our house. She is no longer afraid of monsters because of that. So something good, the question I have is, something good always comes out of this because you really are confronting your fears in terms of what a monster is and really isn't in this case, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, for every kid has their own fears. I mean, some kids do have parents who pressure them to be perfect, and that's why Beautiful Oops is such a great thing. And, you know, kids are scared of monsters. You know, there are ways, a monster can take many different shapes.
Yes.
It doesn't have to actually be a monster like a monster.
The bottom line is discuss it with your kids. Talk about the things that are scaring them, and kind of take it down a little bit if you can. Let's take it down now. Let's finish with
you know,
this
what is better for a teenager than post-apocalyptic zombie love?
If I had a dime for every time I said that.
I know, right? I mean, try to say that 5 times.
Exactly.
So, The Forest of Hands and Teeth is phenomenal. It escaped my vision when it first came out in hardcover. I have no idea. And now I'm a huge fan of Carrie Ryan's. And she actually wrote this, believe it or not, as a love letter to her husband. Now, I don't want to get into that relationship. But I have
a whole... These are kids' books we're talking about here, Katie.
You know, YA, young adult, there's a whole other level to that.
The whole Twilight.
But it's really wonderful. It is post-apocalyptic. This disease or whatever came and wiped out all these people, but it made them into zombies. And there's a religious aspect to it where they're called the unconsecrated, and it's an adventure story, it's a love story, it's a zombie story, it's a future world story. It's really, I'm telling you, you laugh, you cry, you get very scared.
It was better than Cats. And again, all these books on our website at WTNH.com.
That's
Click on
right.
the Good Morning Connecticut weekend section. We will hook you up with that. Katie Davis, as always.
Thank you so much, as always.
Post-apocalyptic zombie stuff.